This is one of thousands of points around the island that is truly ideal for drug traffickers. Now, city leaders tell me this is the new norm in Burlington and you need to get used to it. But do you? A 29-year-old man with meth, marijuana, cocaine, and fentanyl in his system drives a stolen car the wrong way on Shelburne Road and slams into another car head-on. That was the breaking news headline. When you dig deeper into what led to Adrian's death on this road, you learn more. We investigate what role social services, mental health, and the prison system in Vermont played in creating and unleashing what his sisters call a monster.
What's been the most challenging part of putting this special report together?
I would say access to the documents, because we as journalists, there's so many things we can't get our hands on, including mental health records and prison records, which begs the question, how can we find out what's going on and potentially hold people accountable? Fortunately, the family collected everything they could, and I went through all of it, thousands of documents. When viewers are watching at 5 and 6, they're going to ask a few things. They're going to say there were no names, no pictures, no addresses, no charges, whether so we don't know if they're dealers or users or both. No indication if they're still behind bars, no details about the origin of the weapons. What is the takeaway for the viewers? Many of you are asking, where's the money coming from to pay for this? So I asked the congressman if there's an American payback plan. But we know nothing in life is truly free. Congressman, what should we all be prepared for because of this? An increase in income, business, or property taxes, more expensive goods, higher interest rates for car loans and mortgages?
Well, we don't. Let me say this very directly. We have to borrow this money.
So I guess the question is how are we going to pay that back? Because you know we're a consumer-driven economy, and many Vermonters are asking us, like, what should I expect to be paying more for because of this? They want to plan ahead.
Well, you know, it's a different world we're in.
Understood. Do you know when we'll get a better idea of how we're going to pay it back and when we're going to pay it back?
Well, this is ongoing. It's part of the federal budgetary process. We all, as citizens, have to understand that we got to get through this, and then, you know, there'll be other things that we have to face and do it together.
Now, what happens when people's ideologies, belief systems conflict? So you believe you shouldn't have to wear a mask, but other people believe, you know what, I have the right to be safe, whether I'm in a public space or I'm in a local business. So then whose right supersedes the other? How does that work then?
You know, that's an interesting question. I don't know how to answer that, to be completely honest. That's a whole other ball game. We had decent numbers in Vermont before we mandated masks.
Well, and because you brought up that point, prior to the mask mandate, we had nearly all of our 58 deaths from the virus and close to 1,000 positive cases. So why do you think it was handled without masks?
Well, it's without having all of the information in front of me, and obviously there are things I don't know.
We walk up to the house on the hill. No one's here yet, but as you can see, there is a kiddie pool, there is a kiddie chair, and the neighbors think that this is a rental and that there might be children here. So as of now, no one's here, but we will come back. All right, next neighbor. As we're about to leave, my name is Celine McArthur with Channel 3 News. Do you know what you're selling?
Not at that time, no. When you get it, they don't tell you.
You're a mom with your little girl in the house while you're doing heroin. What do you think about when you hear that?
I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like crap.
How excited are you to be reunited with your baby?
I'm overly excited. I cannot wait. It'll be nice to be able to have her, not just see her for a couple hours.
That drive so many people, because then it's not your competitive edge. So then people are going to have to get a master's degree or an even higher degree, and they're going to end up having to pay for it. So it's not really free.
I don't. I don't look at it that way at all.
How do you look
the
at
way
it?
I look at it?
Think of the people who are taking the drugs during the process when you guys are developing it, you're packaging it, you're shipping it. Does anybody ever think of that?
You know, mentally, all you think about is the money.
Yeah, you get bonus points if you go around me. If I get the 360. If you're planning on skiing this weekend, the resorts in our region will not disappoint.
Record amounts of drugs are flowing into Vermont and New Hampshire. One of the largest stops on the pipeline, New York City. From there, it splits. For Vermont, it runs up through Hartford, Connecticut, Springfield, Mass, and then crosses the border. Another route, straight up 87, crosses over to Rutland, then north into Burlington. Now, the pipeline into New Hampshire runs along 95, up 93, into Lawrence, Mass, then north. Springfield and Lawrence, two big drug feeder cities for our states. And I found out how easy it is to buy drugs there.
I could walk around in 10 minutes and you'd probably find you 3 or 4 people. Like, it's that easy.
With law enforcement supervision, we take him up on his offer to show us how easy it is to buy drugs and drug paraphernalia in Lawrence.
How serious is the drug problem in Vermont?
It's the #1 underlying problem with all the crimes that we're having here, in my opinion.
Lawmakers will be voting on one of these 4 candidates tomorrow to be the next head of the Vermont National Guard. Retired Brigadier General David Bezeski has been with the Guard for 12 years.
We also have retired Army Lieutenant Colonel David Graham. He joined the military in the 70s and rose through the ranks.
Retired Colonel Roseanne Greco was with the Air Force for 30 years. She moved to Vermont when she retired. Now she's opposed to the F-35s, but says she can follow orders.
Probably the best part of the meal. At least according to Celine McArthur as well. She joins us live at the Higher Ground Ballroom in South Burlington with a preview of tonight's event. Celine, how's it going? What's happening right now?
Well, right now we're less than an hour out from showtime, so everybody is setting up their tables. This is just one of the tables to give you a quick look. This is salted caramel almond cake. I've wanted to try it, but I can't yet. You have to wait until the next hour. It's amazing. This is one of 10 tables that are being set up as we speak. 10 restaurants are taking part from around the state.
3 judges and 1 news anchor coming off for Sugar High tonight.
It was the toughest time. I feel like I need to stretch or something. I never thought I could eat this many desserts, but I did. This is a very special episode of Secrets to Entrepreneurial Success. I think we have our biggest name to date, rock legend Steven Tyler.
Wait, is he here?
Oh my God, is he here?
I don't think he is. I think maybe I haven't let my hair down.